What up, my friends? It is me, Mr. Squid Whiskers, and welcome to the first Animal Crossing episode that has happened in a long while. If you actually have been keeping up on these videos, you may have noticed that a lot of things have changed, and I'll do an explanation of that. I could do a formal explanation of that at one point, but that's not what we're here for. See, we've got something important to discuss. And you see, that thing is the sheer number of people who watch my video titled Isabel Sings Megalovania. Like, holy cow. That is 8,000 views that thing has got. That is exactly 8,200 more views. Actually, probably a little bit more than that I get on almost all my normal videos. So, what happened? I don't know. I'm pretty sure one half of the people were there to watch Isabel sing Megalovania, because, let's be honest, who doesn't want to see that? And then the other half were just there to get my my pixel art tutorial on how to make Sans face as your flag, which, is that the same? Yep, there he is. There she blows. Our proud and noble flag. Sans. But even despite that, I just can't believe how many people watch that video. It's so funny. And then I got an even stupider idea than having Isabel singing Megalovania. Having Isabel sing every single Undertale song. Yeah, that's right, we're doing this. Maybe not all in one video, because there are 101 songs on the Undertale soundtrack, and Animal Crossing's UI is not the greatest. But yeah, I'm going to be programming every single song into that little counter and having Isabel sing it. By the way, just to give you guys some perspective, I have the official, sort of official, I have the license piano score for the Undertale soundtrack, which means that they paid someone to go and transcribe all of these songs. So I'm going to be using those official transcriptions and and put them into Isabel's little singing counter. However, there are just a few major problems with what I want to do, and that's that the Animal Crossing music thing is oh so limited. First of all, I'm pretty sure you only get 16 bars. Like, you only get 16 spaces, a total possibility of 16 notes, and that's it. That's not a lot of wiggle room to program an entire song. So therefore, I am only going to be doing the first bars that I can program in of each song. However, if you would ever like to see me do like a full cover song where I just like program each little segment in and then record it and splice it all together, I will do that. I do think that'd be a lot of fun, but not when I'm trying to do all 101 songs. However, there's an even bigger problem, and this is one that I ran into while I was making Megalovania in there, and that's that the notes that you have are very limited in Isabel's little thing. Now I'm gonna just do a little bit of music theory sort of stuff. It's really nothing complicated, but I just want to give some perspective. See, when there's a total of like, what is it? There are a total of 13 different notes you can play, and then you can pitch those down different octaves. Some of this may be going over your head, and other people may be bored out of their mind if they've actually even just played an instrument once or twice. But those can be moved up and down to make them higher or lower. Isabel does not have 13 notes. She has the base 8 notes, and there are no middle notes. When you want to pitch notes up by like very incremental values, you either make it a sharp or a flat, and a sharp raises the note by by a half step. Again, this will be going over the head of anyone who hasn't really played an instrument before, and a flat lowers the say you have a D, it just lowers the D by 1/2 step. That's your crash course for music theory with Mr. Squid Whiskers. But see, that's the problem. Undertale's music does not just stick to 8 notes. It is much more colorful than that. So basically, what I have to do is complicated. There are certain intervals between certain notes. The step between a C and a D is a whole step, and the step between a D and an E is a whole step as well. But the step between an E and an F, the next note, is actually just a half step. So, and in Toby Fox's music, he has jumps of both half steps and whole steps. So I have to work that first little bit of the music around those spacings so that I can get the appropriate just jump intervals between all the notes. Basically, I can't particularly do each of the songs as it's written. I can't just do it as it's supposed to be because yeah, this thing is way too limited. What I have to do instead is basically is just move it down. So if the song originally started on a C, I'm putting it down to an A. And that won't really change. It'll change like the pitch of how it sounds, like how high or low I guess it sounds. It won't change like the actual like the melody that you hear at all. So that's the challenge. I may not be able to do all these songs perfectly, but I'm gonna give it my best, and let's go ahead. So, Isabel, I'm gonna be changing the island tune a lot, so you better be ready, kid. Here's the previous Megalovania thing, and see, here's the problem. I surely should have just demonstrated it here. Here we go. We have DD, so, what? Why did you do that? So, if we have this, there. So that's the version of Megalovania that I use. Don't you dare do that. So normally, Megalovania goes do. So this step is lowered by a half step. It's actually an A flat. So it could also be a G sharp. You don't need to get into why those are the same though. But yeah, I can't do that because look, you only get an A or a G, nothing in the middle. So that's the thing. I will have to work it around. You can't do that with Megalovania though because it actually has three half steps in a row. And basically how music theory works is when you go, I'm just gonna go through the scale that you have. So you have C, and then you have D, E, F, G, H, A, B, and then back to C. So how that works though, here's the problem. So each of these notes is different intervals. So from a C to a D, it's a whole step. From a D to an E, it's a whole step. From an E to an F, it's a half step. However, from an F to a G, it's now back to a whole step, then G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and then B to C is a half step. Again, very just simple and basic music theory stuff. However, Megalovania has two half steps in a row. You go from A to A flat and then down to G, and there just isn't anywhere in that C B C. Oh gosh, you can't do this. C D E. F, G, A, B. There's nowhere in that range where you can get three half steps in a row. So unfortunately, you can't do that with Megalovania. But we're gonna have to. But that's why I'm gonna have to move it around for everything else to see if it works. So, without further ado, let us begin. Okay, so the first song in the soundtrack is called Once Upon a Time. Hopefully, I can play a little clip of it here. Oh boy, if I have to play a clip for every single song, that's gonna be a lot of MP3 files on my computer. Here's how it goes. So we got, it starts with a C. So this one should be completely possible. I don't see anything we'll have to change. So we'll have to go, we're gonna go C, and then up here. Again, I won't get the exact tempo right. And tempo basically just means the speed that the song plays at. So some of these may be like, faster or slower than they would normally be, and I don't care. I'm going to try to fit as much of the song as I can in between different spaces, but basically we have this rhythm. So we go C, then up to a bigger C, and then back down to, it should be G, and then we have a space. So back there, down, that, I guess the frog little thing there is a space. So C, D, so that should be C, C, G, there we go. So yeah, that's the beginning melody. Then we take a... So that, if I've done that correctly, that should be the first song done. This should be Once Upon a Time, so. That's it. That's totally it. See, okay. Normally it plays a lot slower. It's like do. So normally I'd only be able to fit those first two bars in, but I definitely wanted to speed it up. That way I could get that whole thing. But I did that. That actually worked. That is crazy. Alright, so now, alright. So, if I can do one song, I can do 101. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, so the next one is called Start Menu, and I won't explain. I could go along, because I know all these songs basically by heart. So I could just say, like, where these all come from in the game. I'm not gonna do that, though. Okay, but there is one thing I want to check. So what is the highest this can go? So it only gets to a high E, so I'm gonna have to pitch this down to a low G, and you'll see why in a minute. But so let's see. So the next, you'll also notice that a lot of Toby Fox's songs use a thing called leitmotifs. I hope I'm saying that right. But basically, they keep certain melodies, and they use them in different pieces. So that first melody you heard, do do do, will actually be used in this song too. So last time we went from a C to a C. Now we're going from a C, a G to a G, this G. this G. So that's basically a good representation of what I'm going to have to do while creating these songs. I'm going to have to just pitch these around. So like that was from a C to C, this is from a G to G. And so it'll sound the same, but it'll just be, I guess it'll just be at a different pitch. So now this one's a bit more complicated. So it's got some weird spacing. So I'm gonna put a space there, and so then we have our G. That's actually set up perfectly because that is what I need. And then is that a full step? That isn't actually a full step. Oh boy. So what I have to do is I actually have to extend these notes and just slow the piece down a bit just to get all the rhythms right, because that's definitely what I want to go for. So then we get the G and then extend that, so then we only have hover. So there's a 4-gap space technically between this. So we have the original note, its extension, and then I could basically just paste that note again. I could go G, G, but instead I'm leaving that space there. However, this one only has one little space and then that little extra sleeping frog or whatever that is, and then it goes to a what is it? I don't know. It goes to a D. So if I play that now, okay, so you heard how that like made the rhythm a little bit more interesting. So what I'm gonna do is, because technically there's an entire bar of space, like this entire thing, there's an entire row of this space of just empty space of no sound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this original segment here, and then I'm gonna leave out all these extra notes, and then I'm gonna go back through, and I'm gonna, after I play this piece, I'm gonna add the second half on. So this is what I would do if I ever tried to program a normal song. I'd do one of these whole little melody sections, and I'd erase all of this. Well, you can't really erase, but I erase all of it and then go back through. So here's the first part of the melody. So there's all that. And now what I need to do is I need to just change it up a bit. So I'm going to play these just back to back rather than, well, actually, am I? I don't know. I guess I won't. I won't play these back to back because I was talking during the last one. But, this is what the second half of this sounds like, so. Alright, so real quick, let's just, that way I can, just put these back to back and make more sense to you. Or, I'm going to, remake that last melody, that way, I can just put them back to back and have like a full piece of the song there. Okay, so that's the second part of the song. That's all I'm gonna do. There is more, but that would take so long. You see, I mean, I've already spent like 18 minutes doing this, and a lot of that was the intro, but this is 2 songs. So we need to speed this up. Now we have a bit of a different one. So this one is definitely composed of more parts. So I'm gonna write down the first part, and then and then overlay the second part on top of it. So, you know, you'll just see what that is in a minute. But this one is my first case of where I have to change it, because right now I have an A flat in my piece, and there is no A flat here. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this. Oh boy. This next song, by the way, is called Your Best Friend. So let's try this. So up there, so. Oh, I did it wrong, crap. But that's the part that's going underneath the actual melody for this piece. So I'm going to just write the rest of that out and then play it for you without talking. That way I can, once I actually make the rest of the melody, I can add all that over. I can add all that over the top. That way you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. Okay, so I accidentally exited out of the thing after I completed it, but you saw what it sounded like. So now I need to do the next part. Alright, fingers crossed that this is correct. I don't know if I may have accidentally gone too low and the last note won't be right, but let's see. But alright, now this should be it. That's it. That's totally it. That's Your Best Friend. So now, in a moment, you'll hear the 2 parts that I created layered together, and that'll create a better sense for the song. Okay, so that's that. But now the next song, this is the 4-song run now, and this is taking me a while. The next song is Fallen Down, which is honestly one of my favorites. Not like my favorite, but this was definitely one of the ones I've loved. But let's see. So this one also has a bunch of like, this has like a C sharp and an F sharp. Again, do you see it? Nope, can't find a way to do an F sharp. So we're gonna have to figure this out. Okay. Oh, okay. So I may have figured it out. This one is also composed of 2 segments. So this is gonna be a bit weird, but I think with enough something I can do. So I'll create the bottom melody first again. Okay, so this is gonna end a bit abruptly. You see, the rhythm here is just, it just doesn't fit on the board, technically. So here's what it is. So see, like, that last little bit doesn't get an ending. So, actually, I could change that to the next part of the melody, though. So, yeah, so I can't do the next part of the melody anyway. So this is gonna have to just be dead space here. So, alright, but there you go. So this is the bottom melody. So yeah, that's the bottom melody, and so now I'm going to create the top melody, and you'll hear that in a second. Okay, so you can see this one's pretty repetitive. It's just E, D, E, B, E, B, E, B, E, B, the entire thing, but this is what it sounds like. And so you'll hear those two parts put together in this next segment. Okay, so this next song is going to be, it's going to be not fun. But here, so this is what it is. The next one is called Ruins. And it's, oh boy. I don't even know where to start. That should be it. That should be the first part of the melody. So now it just comes to making the rest. There's just one problem with that though, and that's that the melody after that is too long to fit on this thing, so once again I'm gonna have to break it up and then splice together. Okay, so this should be the melody we're looking for. You see, basically, this segment, this is the main melody over here, this thing, so boo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And then this one is just the same thing, but with a pickup note, so it goes boo-doo-doo-doo. So, I will just, using my pro editing skills, I will just attach because I don't want to create a whole new like configuration for this just to add the end part on. I'll just use my editing skills and add it in afterwards by taking the notes that are already there up here and then doing that. But whatever, I don't need to explain it. You'll hear it afterwards. But first, let's just hear. Let's just hear the full thing right now. Okay, so I realized I did it wrong, and after listening to it myself, so you probably didn't hear that. I also closed out of the tune, which kind of sucks, so it went back to what I had before, which was Megalovania, so I had to rebuild it all. But that gave me the time to realize, oh, I did this wrong. So this should be right now. Fingers crossed this will be the full melody. So yeah, I'll just have extended that using the previous segment. But there it is. There's the fifth song. Oh my boy. Oh boy. It's been 30 minutes and I've made it through 5 of these. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, the real problem with this next one is that it spans a lot. It spans like a lot of space. So let's see. I want to just see. So what's the highest note I have up here? I may need that. I may need that E. Okay, so I think I have the melody here. By the way, this one's called So Temperate. So let's listen. It may actually be that. Let's try that. Also, this should be an extended note. That's it. That's So Temperate. So, oh boy, 6 songs down. Only like 101 more to go. Okay, so then the next one's a bit of a weird one. This is actually just part of a different song, and it doesn't actually have a lot of much of anything to it. Like this first part that I'm looking at here, mind you, I always take the first part of the song, is basically just this. So let's go here, and this is what it is. So that's the first section. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna that just occurs for a while. Normally there's some emphasis on it, like certain notes are like played much more loudly than others, but you can't do that when you can't do that in this thing here. So now I'm going to create the first actually interesting part of the song, and then through my perfect editing skills, yes, very beautiful, so great or something, I will recreate, I'll add that all together to give you an idea of like what the actual song is supposed to sound like. Okay, so I don't have to do too much, I just have to move all these up to an A. And then I'll create the actually interesting part in this next section down. Okay, so I finished it. Here it is. I'm gonna take now this top segment here, those top 8 notes, those technically repeat 3 times that whole segment. So there's actually, if those are 8 notes, there's actually 24 of them because that whole segment repeats 3 times before this segment comes. So I don't want to do all that again, so I'm just gonna do it through editing. So here's the song. As of saying that, I also just realized that I did it wrong. It's slightly different than I thought. So it goes, it actually goes D, and then it's just a slightly different rhythm, that's all. So here it is now. There it is. So that's that song's called Anticipation, and that's actually going to be the exact same as the two songs from now. So I'm not gonna recreate that because it's literally just the same. Actually, no, it's not. I'm stupid. That's the bottom part for the next song. So I will just I'll add the next part on. I'll just, since I already have that, I'll use my magical powers of editing and just create the melody that's here. Even though that's gonna be difficult because it's actual chords, like multiple notes played at once, and obviously you can't do that here. So that's gonna be weird, but we'll get to that when we come to. First, we've got the next song, Unnecessary Tension, which has a few parts. So first of all, there's just a part that goes up above and goes like this, and this is basically what it is. So it's that melody repeated very fast. So just that or whatever that is. So I'm gonna, yeah. So I do need to transpose this a little bit, but yeah. Once I figure all that out, I'll have this done. Okay, so this is the original melody. So that's basically the part that gets played on top. I'll just play that for you for a second. And then there's a little melody part that gets played as well. So I'm gonna compose that, and then I'm gonna add these two together. Oh no! I just realized that I have to do this differently. Uh-oh. Okay, so I think I can do it a different way. I just had to pitch it up differently, which means I'll have to recreate that first section as well, but that's no problem. Okay, so you now should have just heard that all together. Oh boy, that took some working, but we got through it. So now, the next song. So the next song is just, as I said, the continuation of that first song, or that 2 songs ago, Anticipation. So, ooh, I better not knock over my Switch. But it's a bit weird. I have to remember how I did the last one so that I can do this one. Alright, so I'm going to add this melody that I'm about to create over the last one. So you'll see what that sounds like in a minute. Okay, but the next song I have to make is going to be even weirder. So here, boy. All right, so that was enemy approaching that last one. This one's ghost fight, and this one is made of chords, which again are just a series of notes that are played together. Which again I can't do when I only get one of these notes. Which that previous one was too. So I just basically took the top note from that, which was what worked for me. So that's basically what I'm gonna do here as well. Okay, so guys, I have determined that the next one is also impossible. Like in Megalovania, it has 3 half notes in a row, which we've discussed isn't possible on this type of keyboard. So I am just gonna do the first section of it if I can figure out how to transpose that. So here's the real problem. So this, as I said before, an E to an F is a half step. So now I need another half step, but that would be an F sharp, and I can't have that. So I'm just gonna put a G as a replacement. But this is Ghost Fight. See, it doesn't sound as good. Normally it's a do rather than a do. Or yeah, sorry. What does that sound? I don't know what an F sharp would sound like. But yeah, so that's too bad, but we got it. Oh, you know what? I'm such an idiot. I should have had I should have had Isabel sing all of these. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why haven't I been doing that? Why didn't I remember? Oh, that's too bad. Whatever. I'll have her sing at least this one. Okay, let's see. So, well, I do have a little bit of knowledge. Let's see. Okay, so I could barely hear it because Isabelle was quiet. But, oh, dang it. I probably put that in the title, too, didn't I? I said, oh, Isabelle sings like 101 Animal Crossing songs. Okay, I guess that's better than not because most of the songs I did create like a counter melody that I use, so please forgive me that I didn't do that for all songs. I really am sorry. I blinked. It's fine. It's fine. From now on, I will do that. But the next song is Determination, and this one has a lot of, sharps and flats, so oh boy. Okay, so this should be now Determination, the next song. I basically, all I had to really do was pitch it that one note. Unfortunately, I can't get much of it because it's at a weird, different, like, sync with, it's out of sync with, like, the 8 bars that I have here, but this is, so basically what I'm saying is the melody gets cut off at a point, but here's what it sounds like. So normally that would go to, I actually don't know what it would go to. Probably, in this case, an A and then a D. So if you know musical knowledge, you can imagine that. But now, let's actually have Isabel sing this. So let's see what it sounds like. Okay, well, allow me to prepare your tune. That's so cool. She sung Determination. Oh, that's fun. I actually really like that. Okay, so this next song, as we get Isabel queued up, is called Home. And so this will be... Actually, this probably won't be too bad. I don't even see... Actually, no, I do. I was about to say, I don't even see any sort of length, and then I immediately noticed that they were right there. So, oh boy, let's figure this one out. Alright, so I think I've got the melody here, so this should be good. Again, after this point, this is like literally the note after this is when I could no longer do it. That's when it becomes impossible, but luckily, this thing is too short for that. So let's see, let's hear it. Okay, so normally, that does sound a bit weird, but basically, this note is supposed to be a lot lower. I guess I could I? No, because that's a full octave over there. So I was going to say I could pitch this up, so this is supposed to be much lower, and just a sustained note while the rest of it, well, this melody plays here. But, again, limited things, limited stuff that I can do, so that's going to have to work. But let's get Isabel to sing that. Yeah, I do have a little bit of talent. Oh, that's so fun. That's so fun. I'm really sad that I didn't get her to do everything else, because that would have been really cool. But whatever, it's fine. We all make mistakes, and I don't want to go back and fix mine, so that's up to me. Alright, so now, so here's the problem. The next song is basically, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but pitched up an octave. It's the same exact song, at least by this standpoint. Like, normally they just use different instruments and different fun stuff like that, but like... And they're pitched differently. In the book, in the piano score book I have, you can't use different instruments. You have a piano, and that's about it. So basically you just pitch it up, but I can't do that because it just wouldn't fit. So it's basically, this is what it's gonna have to be. So that first song was Home, and then the next one is just Home Music Box. And again, for me, or for in this piano transcription, it's literally just it's just pitched up an octave, or pitched up basically. This G would now be this G, and then the D would now be that D, and so on and so forth. But we can't do that, so I'm gonna have to move on to the next and final song of the video, bros. This one's called Heartache. So let's see. Oh boy, this one also has a lot of notes I'm gonna have to transpose. So let's get cracking. Okay, so despite this having like a lot of off notes that I couldn't use, I actually transposed this one pretty easily. So here's the thing. Unfortunately, it does just get cut off. The main melody though just repeats several times. So this is what it would be. So go boo doo 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 doo, and then it repeat that. So I'm just gonna play it and then edit it back through so that does happen normally. So let's hear that. Alright, there it is. So that is Heartache, and that is gonna have to be where I leave this. I love this so much. This was so much fun to go around and like. Well, actually, we're not even done. I will have Isabel sing this in a minute. This was like just so much fun to just transpose these songs. I mean, well, okay, it was a bit frustrating. And yeah, but just to hear them in like a different form and on the Animal Crossing keyboard, that's just it's so much fun. But I'm so sorry that I didn't have Isabel sing the other one. I don't know. I had the title of this video in my mind before I even made it. I'm not gonna change it, but like, why was that not apparent to me that I should do that? I don't know, but whatever was going on with my head at this moment, it just wasn't working right. However, so that is the last thing I'm gonna do. That did just take me a while. Hopefully I can cut it down with editing, but that just took me a while to transpose all those songs. But that's really fun. So if you do want to see me, and I will do this, the entire rest of the book. The reason I stopped there is because technically that is the end to the segment. That is, I would cut Undertale up into the different areas of the game. You first have the ruins that and then this won't make sense to anyone who's not an Undertale or someone who's played Undertale, but you have the ruins, then Snowden, then Waterfall, then Hotland, which also bleeds into the core, and then the final segment of the game, and then some miscellaneous parts of it that go into certain different runs of the game and different choices you make. But basically, that was the end of that segment there, that last song that I played. So that's why I ended there. But if you want, again, if you want to see me play the entire thing, I am so game for that. So yeah, please, I don't know what you would do. Just leave a comment or something. But real quick, let's hear what Isabel has to say. All right, let's see. Here, go. Yes, I do. I know you have a little musical knowledge. Oh, that's so cool. It's funny because that reminds me of the segment in that game when it's played. I'm not gonna talk about that because it would take way too long to explain. So if you want to get that same connection with this, go check it out yourself, please. Undertale really is a great game. But that is, yeah. So I'm gonna keep that as the tune for now because I do really like that. But can I help you with anything else? Nah, you're good, bro. But yeah, so that really is a lot of fun. Please though, do whatever you want. Just show your support because just comment or whatever, or like, tell me that you want more of this because I am so dying to make more. I mean, I guess I could just do it on my own. In fact, that's probably what I'll end up doing anyways. But yeah, so anyways though, thank you guys for watching. If you like this episode, do subscribe, do like, comment, share. If you want to see just more general Animal Crossing as well, I haven't touched it in a while. As you can see, a lot has changed. I saved like the explanation for why all this has happened for a different video because I wanted to get straight into the music. But I definitely think all the trees and the changes that have happened need a proper explanation, as well as the fact that it's winter, even though right now as I'm recording this it's summer. So yeah, I'll explain all that. However, for now that is gonna have to. So anyways though, thank you guys for watching, and Squid Cat out.